there are what we call, Dan, what we call flashbulb experiences in life. And we know those typically as adults, such as, where were you on 9/11? Flashbulb memory. You probably, like most of us, remember exactly where you were when you heard the news, saw the reports. Those of us old enough can remember where we were when Kennedy was assassinated or when the Challenger exploded. Things like that are powerful, and those are adult experiences. But I'll tell you something as a psychologist. After 9/11, we had people coming in who were vicariously traumatized, afraid to fly on airplanes because of the impact of that flashbulb experience. Now, Stephanie, going through the four-step process, and I'll tell you briefly how that is in a moment, was able to get past that, was able to dissolve that and put that into perspective. These were business relationships. This wasn't her daughter, or this wasn't her mother and father. And that's the distortion that she was holding. So the first step of the four-step process is identify, and we provide that personal belief assessment tool to help people. The second step is to clear what we call the biofield. Now, the biofield is something that we really understand, and most of us recognize, although we may not have heard that term before, but we are electrically organized organisms. We have polarity. And research that was done out of Yale University in the 40s identified we have internal organization of polarity within our systems, within our microsystems, that is to say our organs, and as well as our entire system. Our nerves, Robert Becker, an orthopedic surgeon, did research and found that nerve endings have different polarity, electrical polarity. I don't want to get too off the subject, but it's fascinating to me about how this evolved. He was looking into why do certain animals able to regenerate a lost limb, like a salamander and so forth. And he found that it was a difference in the polarity of the nerves at the end of the severed part of the limb. Now, what we do in step 2 is clear and make sure that the internal organization of that electrical biofield is organized properly, because if it isn't, there's subtle disturbances that are going to have an effect on us. And so there's a breathing exercise, a couple of specific processes that are easy, and reestablish that. And then the third step, and it gets it ready for the third step too, which is repatterning. And that's where we take you might say, where did the code come from? Well, the code is, for joy, is at the beginning, at the identification stage, we identify what the negative or unproductive belief is. We flip that around with rational, logical, honest reality. We don't want to make up something that's not true. But for most people, that's not really a problem. Like Stephanie, it was simply a matter of, what are family and friends, and who is really family, and making that correction so that the repatterning process and being able to restore trust, as Carl did, become, I am able to trust myself. I can use my judgment to trust others appropriately. And we instill that through a process that puts that into the subconscious mind. And then the fourth step is anchoring it. We have a process where a person anchors it in their mind, in their body, in their entire biofield, so that they can not only imagine it and associate it with a quick symbol that's able to restore it quickly, and what we call that is basically reinstalling it periodically, but also to attach it with imagery, which is the visualization, and imagery is the language of the subconscious mind. And with those processes, people can go through and change their belief process, those limiting beliefs, to positive, self-affirming, empowering beliefs that allow them to see the visible, to raise the fog, as you talked about in that wonderful little story about the neighbor kids that had gone to, I think it was Glacier National Park, and they went, and the fog and haze of the day obscured their vision, their view. When you had gone, you had talked about the beauty and the majesty of being up there, and they didn't see it. Well, we talk about the fog of distress, which is what those life-limiting beliefs create. And once those are lifted, they're able to see what was invisible becomes visible. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. But, I would say that if you can change your beliefs, you can change your future.
Absolutely. And when you do that, when you change your perceptions and allow them to reflect reality and allow you to be able to hear and see things that are important. I mean, I know that your consulting work helps people recognize the trends that are going, especially in the technological area. And you know, I was fascinated by one of the stories in your book. You talked about, I think it was Miracle Ear.
Oh yeah, hearing aid company, right?
Hearing aid company, and you had a really good story about where that could go if they could see the future, if they could see where that could go. And although I don't know where it is right now, one of the things you said was you don't know, and I looked recently and I don't see them going in that direction, but perhaps someone in that organization was blocked from being able to take the risk, to be able to see the vision, to be able to believe in themselves or trust what you said. I don't know. But that's the kind of interference that can occur in people's business lives that cause them to have perhaps less than successful outcomes. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. Well, you know, if it can be done, it will be done. If not by you, by somebody else. And getting, you know, these interviews, because we only have so much time, we got to keep them kind of short to make sure people catch it. So what I would do is to have you right now tell me, first of all, where can people find Code of Joy? I know we share the same publisher, HarperCollins, and I know that it's available on Kindle and all the other formats, but where's the best place to go to buy this book?
Well, if people go to www.code2joy, that's TOjoy.com, and they sign in there, a couple of things will happen. One is they'll get some free stuff from us just for signing into the website. And they'll see a little video that kind of gives them a little overview of the book as well. But also, they'll receive in an email a link that allows them to get a ton of bonus material that we've arranged with partners who are going to provide free bonus gifts to people who buy the book from any one of the booksellers. So there's, you know, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indie Books, it doesn't really matter. They'll be able to come back to the link and redeem all these bonus gifts. So www.code2joy.com is the place to go, and we'll be delighted to share all that we've learned. There's some great stuff on our blog site there, some questions and answers, and we have updated information all the time there.
Well, Peter, thank you so much, and thank you for writing this great book. I urge people to go and get it right now, and we'll do another interview soon.
Well, thank you very much, Dan, for the opportunity to chat again with you and with your followers. And I've got to say, I love your book. I recommend it all the time to people that I know and colleagues and clients. So thank you for writing the book that you did.
Okay,
it's opened my eyes.
Great.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.